Here we have Jason showing us how he makes the natural enrichment for the monkeys. So this just gives them something nice to do. And of course, they find these beautiful rewards inside. And this is quite a great idea that Jason and his team have come up with and seems to work very well with the monkeys. So it's all made from natural or indigenous growth around the area. So the monkeys are quite used to some of it. And of course, the great idea of tying it together so it's difficult to get inside. So besides the fruit and stuff like that, everything is natural from the area. So of course, the monkeys get used to foraging or opening up something that they might normally find in the bush.
Gimli and James Troop. Just been introduced a few days ago. Already gaining massive amounts of confidence climbing the trees. It's Juno who's hugging him.
We're down at Nika Integration, so today she's spent the maximum time of about 11 minutes in the troop. With the ex-pets, it does take them quite a long time to get to know the troop and feel confident about staying outside. These are some of the characters in Scrow Troop that Mika's going to be joining. We've got Janet there on the left. She's got the pointy ears. Andrea's just walking by. King Louis, who's the alpha male, has just joined in. And we've got Hayley on the left at the front and Jake behind. King Louis is busy giving one of the females a good groom. It's quite a cold day today. It's winter here in South Africa. So they've been running around quite a lot, but now it's grooming time, and it's a bit later in the day, around 11 o'clock in the morning. So we've got Hayley on the left, who's giving Jake a good groom. Janet's having a forage on the left. You may remember Janet from one of the seasons in YouTube. So this is Pola, who's been in with Mika a lot. Kind of like a foster mum, but Mika's a bit old for a foster mum, a foster friend. And I'm guessing she's going to stay in over the lunch period with Mika, or hopefully she'll take Mika out the door. That was Jake sniff through the fence. That was Thomas William just popping by. Pola's just sat in the doorway contemplating if she should leave or rather stay in with Mika and the food. And Mika's busy munching on lots of cabbage today. Pola's been a foster mum to many orphans and she's really good at it. Ah, there she goes, finally back out in the troop. We can close up and have a break for lunch and start again this afternoon. And there's Pola back in the troop. We're hoping that Mika will follow her one day and stay out into the troop. Apache just come into the shot now. He was actually found clinging to his dead mother in a garbage bin. Has a terrible story. Somebody found that he was still alive and he was very traumatised when he arrived, but look at him now. He's just walking off there. Here's Tweedledee we mentioned earlier, still waiting to go inside the introduction cage. Not sure why he likes it in there so much. But he's a very sweet boy and he does come in with some of the younger orphan integrations and also the ex-pet juvenile integrations because he's a very gentle monkey. Gizmo Troop is just getting some seed pods thrown in. There's a lot of them this year. Nice sickle bush ones. They're ripe when they're brown, but they also eat them when they're green as well. There's Plotty the alpha's grabbed one, telling the others to stay away. Aslan's got two. Plotty the alpha female's also managed to grab two. So they do have some of these trees in their enclosure, the acacias and the sickle bush, but the pods have run out. So they've got lots of pods all around. So we're just throwing them in some extras because of winter and obviously because of the food shortages at the moment. We're giving them some extra indigenous vegetation that they can enjoy. When giving out the seed pods to troops, it's really important that we give enough for the whole group, otherwise it can lead to fighting. There's Plotty again, got another one. She seems to be getting a lot. I mean, the alphas do. There's the Schnaps and Gizmo Troop enjoying one. Bit of a scrap going on with Aslan chasing off the boys. We're still in mating season 2, so we've given enough sickle bush pods for the whole troop now. Here comes Fiona in D&D. So Fiona's our double arm amputee. She gets around just fine. She climbs trees, she plays, she eats. Quite amazing, really. They're much more adaptable than we are. And she also uses her feet as well. We're over at Mrs. Gold, Ellie and Maddox at Goliath Troop today. Ellie's had to stay in for a couple of weeks. She went to the vets and she had a fracture in her arm. We're not sure how it happened, but she's doing very well now and she's able to go out. So this is kind of release number 2 going on. So Mrs. Gold carried Ellie straight out into the troop. There's Zora on the left, who's also one of Mrs. Gold's orphans she's raised. This is Digit. She's in Goliath Troop. You'll see on her left side of her head she's got a scar. This is from when she actually was stuck on a barbed wire fence as an orphan. And then she was picked up and brought to us years ago. But she's doing good now. And Mrs. Gold's found a quiet spot, so she's sat at the bottom and then Ellie's up a tree, which is great. So Ellie constantly follows Mum, Mrs. Gold, and goes to her for safety. And Ziggy just approaching. So Mum was quite keen on keeping Ellie away. Meanwhile, Maddox has just gone out into the troop again, and he's climbing the trees. When this male, Ben Adams, was small as an orphan, he was actually carried out by his foster mum, and he was fast asleep. And then when he finally went out, she actually climbed right to the highest tree, and he was fast asleep, and he basically woke up at the top of a tree, and then he was crying, wondering how he got there. Poor boy. He's doing well. He soon realised it's much better life for him out here than in the intro cage. A fully grown male now. And you can see that Ben Adams, who's the monkey behind, he's got very dark black socks and gloves, we call them, on the hands and feet. So black areas on the hands and feet. One of the ways we identify him. Although after a while you just tend to identify them like you do people by face. There's Maddox in the tree. He's been busy playing with Macy and Vader. Climbing a lot. He's a little bit clumsy because he isn't so much used to the trees. But he's having a lot of fun. He's the one at the back on the left. So Maddox is at the bottom. Macy at the top. Macy still likes to suck her fingers. Mrs. Gold's just beneath the tree. She's just come running over now. Check on Ellie. Ellie always looks a bit lost without her mum, Mrs. Gold. Maddox is quite independent. The boys usually are a bit more independent than the girls. The females stay with their hierarchy pretty much for life. The males change hierarchy, so they're a bit more confident. Ellie cautiously looking around, but Mum's close beside. There we have Zorro. One of Mrs. Gold's other grown-up orphans now.
Well,
I'm not too sure what's actually happened to him. I'm assuming it's fire.
so it looked like his face and his hands,
And his hands and his body's like being burnt a bit. So
but he's alert and okay.
he seems, I mean, somebody chased him to catch him. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll take him in.
But it's just, I mean, it does look like it's quite badly burnt on the stomach and things like that. So
Yeah.
you need.
So you just need to be very gentle with him. So nice and soft. Yeah. Oh, he looks. Yeah. So it looks like the picture was from a not super recent. He looks a lot better than that picture. That picture shows. You okay, little buddy? Nice step. So he has had a once over. So it looks like his right hand side has taken most of the damage.
His fur feels different as well.
Yeah. Yeah, his feet are all singed.
I mean, all the hair is slightly burned.
Yeah, I can't see any specific place where it will go. Yeah, it looks like all over the hair is
Yeah.
missing, so.
Okay, let's stick him in there and let him chill out for a while. Get used to his new home.
Good eyebrow for us. Yeah, your eyebrowing us. Good job.
Nickname him Toast? No? Too early? Alright.
I like it.
It's okay, buddy.
Sorry, sweetie. His fingers.
Yeah.
Let's just close this so it's something we can put him in.
So this is our newest arrival. So we're not sure what happened, but he's been badly burnt. You can see his face has taken quite a bit of the damage. His right hand is very sore looking as well, and then some on the side of his body as well. So we're just going to put some cream on. Poor boy. So
I might need, yeah,
oh,
one
shit,
hand
it's very sore.
to hold him down so I won't have to. Yeah, baby, I know.
So the burnt juvenile, he's just having some snacks at bedtime and shining the light so we can see, so that we can see what he's eating as well. So he's tucked up nice and warm, and yeah, he's been eating some pears. He's just had some grapes as well, So he's got a vet's trip in the morning tomorrow. We really hope he's going to be okay. His abdomen is worrying, so we're going to see what the vet says tomorrow. He was picked up from a vet's today and had some pain relief. We've also treated his wounds put some ointment on to keep him a bit more comfortable. But we just have to see how he does. He did pass some stools today, which is one good thing because we're worried about his abdomen in case something's burned on the inside. We don't know what happened to him. We're not sure if somebody did this deliberately or if he was in a fire. We have no idea. We have had a case before where somebody's actually put a monkey in a bucket and then set fire to it. So I really hope it's nothing like this and that it is a bushfire or something, but yeah, we're not sure at this stage. So let's hope he makes a full recovery. Poor little guy. He's trying so hard. Bless him. I don't know when the last time was that he ate. He's had lots of rehydration today as well and fluids since he was rescued this morning.
So our little guy, our little burnt juvenile, is just back from the vets. So his burns are quite severe. So he's going to have to be dressed regularly, and we've got some creams to apply, so his wounds will need bandaged, and he's going to be on antibiotics as well as the antibiotic cream. So he's going to need quite a bit of care over the next few weeks, but hopefully we'll be fine. He's quite active, and I'm sure he's quite sore. So we're not sure, but it might actually look like this was done intentionally due to the severity of the burns. But we're still trying to find out more information, which is very hard to come by.
Unfortunately, this little one didn't make it. The wounds were far too serious, and he passed away peacefully in the evening.
One of our blind monkeys, Sybil, just eating a seed pod. You can see she reaches to see if there's any more. So here's Cuddy, the brain damaged monkey. She was hit by a car years ago, and yeah, she was pretty much still for a few weeks other than a few movements, and she did recover. She doesn't climb fully, but she is able to get up her ramps and go to bed and climb up higher, and she absolutely loves her food. You may remember them having a bath a while ago, Cuddy and Lilo, but now she's returned back to her larger area. So Cuddy loves to eat. She's not in prime condition, but she's got many challenges. So we do keep an eye on her, and she does get some supplements and extra foods. And she also gets dewormed regularly as well. This is Shanty Ray, the other side of Calypso's corner, and behind is Sybil, giving him a bit of a groom. Shanty Ray, some of you may know that he was shot by a pellet gun and he was totally blinded. And the pellet they couldn't remove from his head, so it is still in there. But he gets around just fine. He adapted since he was young, because he came to us when he was a juvenile. And he manages his area very well. Sometimes you wouldn't even know he's blind. He does feel around on the ground for his food. And his hearing is very good, and the rest of his senses. And there's Sybil on the left and Shanty Ray on the right. And then over this side of Calypso's corner there's the rest of the family, Shasta, Belle behind, and then JB climbing down. JB by the door, he was also shot by a pellet gun, sadly, and he had to have one of his eyes removed because the pellet went right into his eye. And he gets around just fine. He was also juvenile when he came into us and when we rescued him. And he does have some interactions with the troop as well as in his special enclosure. Shasta, who's the mum to many, Belle's mum at this stage, but she has also played mum to JB and some other monkeys as well. JB's having a wander. As you can see, he gets around just fine. Finds his food just fine. Seed pods. They can play. They even somersault across each other. They groom each other. So most of the activities they do themselves, but of course they wouldn't survive out in the wild in a large troop, having to move around amongst many trees. So they'll remain at the sanctuary with us, and we provide them the best home we can with some buddies and some social interaction, and they get enrichment. There's Belle there, just climbing down. So you can see that Calypso's corner was specially made for them. So it's a series of kind of 3 interlinking cages together. This one has ramps for Cuddy. We've got boxes with blankets in. There's Lilo there in front. And then we've got a tree in there as well that's growing. I believe it's the whiteberry bush tree. There comes JB. They've got an interlinking tunnel. So there's a tunnel that goes through to the next area. And then there's a divide between Shanty Ray and JB on the right, because Shanty Ray and JB, when they grew up and became adults, they were fighting for their hierarchy and neither would back down. So in the end we ended up putting Shanty Ray with his new friend Sybil, and then the others live as a family group. And that's Calypso's corner. Money for Calypso's corner was primarily raised by Meg and Tori, previous sanctuary manager and animal manager, so that they could give the blind monkeys and any with disabilities a larger area than what they had. So we do need quite a bit of fundraising projects going on to enable us to do this, and of course to provide food and care and medicine on a daily basis. We've got nearly 600 monkeys here, so that's a lot of funding for vehicles, for rescues, for petrol, deworming, sick bay maintenance, building enclosures, paying local staff salaries. And here comes little Lilo, investigating the phone camera, realising what it is. Or perhaps she doesn't know what it is really. Nonetheless, she's very curious. Lilo also had a bath when she was in sick bay, but now she's back in Calypso's corner, enjoying life with her family. She's much more confident since going back as well than she was when we first pulled her out. She is pretty much the lowest ranked in here. It's not always fun being a low rank monkey, but they do adapt. And she does have friends. And they all do remarkably well considering they can't see. It's absolutely amazing. They're quite an inspiration to us all.